Disclaimer. This is a topic that goes way deeper than the depth I'm diving into in this video. This video is not a breakdown of Chicago gang politics. In this video, my plan is to take an overall look at LA Capone's life and legacy, commenting on what I feel could have led him into getting involved in street politics, and explaining how I feel LA was one of the first real prodigies out of the Chicago drill movement, who unfortunately would have his flame snuffed out way too early due to his own street involvement. Thanks! I hope you enjoy. Leonard Anderson, better known by his stage name, L.A. Capone, was a Chicago drill legend and one of the early pioneers that would cause the drill scene to flourish and explode in the way that it did early on, whilst at the same time being one of the earliest examples of the tragedy of the streets reaching its dark hand into the mainstream zeitgeist with his unfortunate murder. This is the story of the Burning Star. L.A. Capone. Originally born in Chicago on September 18, 1996, L.A. Capone's early childhood would be spent on the 6000 block of South King Drive, where he would go on to be exposed to criminality and the gang elements of Chicago very early. Not participating in the shenanigans at first, off L.A.'s father being a really good role model and attempting to keep him out of the streets, but kinda gaining a passing intrigue into it, off his proximity to it, I'd say. As a way to separate himself and his kid from the terrible childhood environment that is the streets of Chicago, L.A.'s dad would go on to move him and L.A. Capone out to Atlanta, which in turn did help L.A. get a taste for life outside of the gang BS of Chirac. While in Atlanta, L.A. Capone would go on to become close friends with future SoundCloud legend Lil Yachty, and also got connected with a lot of celebrities, some examples being the daughter of Lil Wayne and one of the stepdaughters of T.I. If he were alive today, I've no doubt he'd be on the top of the mainstream just off knowing the right people. Like, he'd be bigger than Dirk if he was still alive. I'm getting a little ahead of myself though. There is a good chance that LA's love for music began to blossom whilst he was staying in Atlanta, given that most of the motherfuckers he was hanging around at the time either came from a musical background or went on to become poppin' musicians themselves. I can't say that definitively, but that's the impression I get looking into past Capone's relationships. Like, everybody he knows is a musical prodigy, or a gang member. After the unfortunate passing of L.A. Capone's father in 2009, L.A. Capone would go on to move back to Chicago, right back into the gang BS his dad tried to hide him from. Seeing that he was originally from 6000 block of South King Drive, and by extension was cool with and had good relationships with members from that area, that being the 600, 400 East members, they made it really easy for Capone to join up with them, so that's exactly what he ended up doing. There were a lot of tweets and other shit from social media giving insight into LA being active for his crew around this time. And while I'm not going to get into any specifics, as I'm no Trap Lord Ross or Trap Geek, I will speak on LA seemingly being drawn to the criminal side of shit, as well as being ultra charismatic leader and figure in the music scene. Even before he was poppin' solo music-wise, and he did his first ever feat, We Grimy, LA had instant star power and draw. The before-mentioned song, We Grimy, would be dropped on November 4th, 2012, and will be featuring L.A. Capone. In the 3 years after coming back from Atlanta, it seems he was ready to take what he got interested in Georgia and use it in the city's bubbling drill scene, to great effect. Approximately 6 months after dropping this feature, on September 29th, 2012, L.A. Capone would end up being shot in the leg, and he would end up surviving this shot, though it did serve to push L.A. into pursuing music and attempting to move a little bit smarter. Emphasis on a little right there. 8 months after the first feature, on November 4th, 2012, L.A. Capone would go on to drop his first ever music video, that being for the song Work. This video is currently sitting at a nice 300,000 views, which for a first song is not bad at all. This vid will go on to have later drill legends such as a young JB Bin Laden dancing, and it's always cool to see artists before they artist, every single time. On January 9th, 2013, L.A. Capone will go on to drop the song that will put him on the map, underground drill scene wise. That song being the song Murder. This video, along with setting the tone for the rest of L.A. Capone's rap career, would also show some of the prominent 600 members, such as Tay 600 and Rondo No. 9. If you frequent Chiracology, you undoubtedly know both of these motherfuckers. 2013 would be the year that L.A. Capone's music would go up in a big way, and also would be the year of his downfall. On March 28th, 2013, LA Capone would do something unprecedented even for mainstream rappers. He would drop 2 music videos in the same day, and I shit you not, both are sitting at above 12 million views today, as of right now. The 2 songs being So Loud, a solo track, and the song Shooters, featuring his friend and close associate, Rondo No. 9, or how I like to call him, Rocket Man. 4 months after these drops, on July 29th, 2013, LA Capone would go on to drop his most popular song to date. That song, of course, being Play for Keeps, which is currently sitting at a strong 64 million views. Given that he was dabbling into auto-tune in a similar vein to Lil Durk and Chief Keef at the time, I feel like if he kept up his trajectory, he'd probably be the biggest name in Chicago given his early and fast success. Unfortunately for the entire drill community, on September 26, 2013, at around 6:25 p.m., the unthinkable would happen. LA Capone and friend JB Bin Laden would be leaving the studio through the back door when LA Capone decided to split off and walk down a nearby alley. In said alley, a gunman who had been waiting for Capone walked out and shot LA 5 times. The bullets that supposedly killed him being a bullet shot through his lower back that became lodged in him, and a bullet that hit his right thigh and exited through his groin. LA would be later pronounced dead at the hospital at 8:33 p.m. This tragic loss shook the entire drill scene and became one of the first true deaths of a giant artist in drill. Most of the deaths up to this point mostly being people that the mainstream audience wouldn't really know. With the death of LA came the birth of many other artists looking to carry on the torch for 600 and 400 East. Many who are popping now, like Lil Durk or JB Bin Laden, often keeping his name alive in tribute, and it's a shame that the Chicago's brightest star is the one who burnt out the quickest. If y'all fuck with classic drill and y'all don't fuck with LA Capone, I don't know what the fuck you on, dude. I heavily recommend listening to his music. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment who y'all trying to see next, and subscribe with the bell to be notified of all my future uploads. If I miss anything or get anything wrong, do be sure to put it in the comments and I'll add it to the description of this video, or I'll put that info in a future vid. Next video I want to do is going to be on Babyface E or J Boogie, unless of course y'all want somebody else y'all want to do. With that out the way, peace out, chill out.